Alright, so welcome to my CIT final project. Today we're going to be exploring the CIT claims. We're going to be using two authors of two different books to tie all the claims together. And yeah, pretty much, let's get into it. So this is my girlfriend, Skylar. Skylar, say hi.
Hi.
So basically she knows absolutely nothing about any of this. And she's kind of here to listen. And we're going to fill her in, and we're going to teach her. And yeah, let's get into it. So there's four main CIT claims. One, humans exist in relation to triune God. Two, faith and reason are compatible. Three, the dignity of every human is inviolable. And then the one we're going to focus on today is that God's presence in the world is mediated through nature and reality. You know what that means, kind of, or no? No idea. So basically, like, how we see God through the world, because we can't actually see God.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, the reason, like, people believe, people, you know what I mean, like, that whole thing.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into it. So to unpack that idea, we're going to use Plato's allegory of the cave, which is a story.
Yeah.
Plato's a philosopher, you know.
Yeah. I know that story.
all that good stuff. And then Genesis 1, which you probably know, that's like the creation of the world.
Okay.
So we're gonna use those to kind of tie in the CIT claim that we mentioned before. Together, the two stories reveal the physical world and our everyday reality are not empty, and that they're charged with deeper meaning, like the way we see the world, like if you really think about it, like there's so much more than what people see like on the outside.
Okay.
You'll get it more when we explain. So I'm just going to give you a summary of the two stories to start so you kind of get a general idea. So basically, Plato's allegory of the cave is Plato the philosopher. He describes a group of people who are in a cave. They're all chained up together, and they're facing the walls. Like, they see nothing. It's a dark cave. There's a fire behind them, but they don't understand like what fire is. They just see shadows on the wall, and like that's their whole life, and that's their reality. So like that's like all they know. So whatever, in the story, someone escapes the chain, leaves the cave, sees like the whole outside world, and like he's like scared at first of the outside world because all he's ever known was like the shadows.
Right.
So he gets out there and he sees the sun. He's like, his eyes are burning.
Yeah.
Whatever. But then he like falls in love with the outside world, and like he loves it. Like whatever. He's very excited to go back to the cave and like share it to everyone because he wants everyone to experience it too. So fast forward, he comes back to the cave, all excited. Like no one in the cave wants to listen to him. They all like get out. Like we like it where we are. Like they're happy in the comfort that they have. They don't even want to explore anything else, which is so goofy because like, you know what I mean, they're in a cave.
Yeah.
So he kind of gets like rejected by like the rest of the people that he was with.
Okay.
So like the point of the story is like how you can relate it to a real world is that most people live limited and scared, and like the idea of philosophy, which is what Plato was trying to explain by the story, is that it kind of can make you like leave the cave, like a metaphorically, like in the real world, and like understand everything more truthfully. So that's just a little summary of that book. The next book I used was Genesis 1, which was the creation. So God created the world in order, the 6 days, and on the seventh day was a day of rest. He formed light, sky, land, sea, animals. He literally made everything. And he saved humans for last. So humans was the last thing he created. And in the book, they used like the word good a lot. Like it kept being repeated that God kept saying that his creations were good. Like after everything, he's like, and this is good, and that's good. He was like emphasizing how good everything is. So how the CIT claim can tie into that which to be a reminder was that God's presence is mediated through nature and reality. It means like the world itself reveals something about God. So like when you walk around and look around, like he made everything with a purpose. So like it's kind of like people take for granted like what they actually have, and like they don't. It's not something like a regular person thinks about on an everyday basis. So it's kind of interesting to think about if you could really like take a step back, because creation isn't random and like it reflects good and purpose. Like everything was made. Like he did everything a certain way. So another point is that truth isn't hidden and it's in reality. So like the truth about God, which like some people believe, some people don't, you could find it within like the world itself in reality. So it's kind of interesting to think about. How it could tie into Plato, the CIT claim. Like I said before, the whole story with the shadows, he escaped, and the sun, all that fun stuff. The point is simple, and Plato's kind of trying to show that reality has layers, and that most people stop at the surface. So that's kind of like a good metaphor to think about. And like throughout the story, it's like the light that he sees kind of like represents like understanding of like God itself, and then the sun is like the highest form of truth, which is God. So like he goes out, he sees that, like he finally understands. That could be like someone in the real world finally like understanding, kind of know what I'm saying. So Plato isn't necessarily like writing about God. He's not like spreading God. He's spreading philosophy, but like it's an analogy for God, because the reality of it mediates something deeper than itself. So how the claim also ties into Genesis. As I said before, he kept repeating the word good after everything, which is a key phrase in the story. Because we don't meet God in Genesis. Like we don't meet God ever. We see God through what he created. So we kind of have to take that into accountability. Like we see him through light, darkness, the goodness built into everything he created, and like the dignity of humans. So it fits the claim that nature is sacramental, pointing beyond itself while remaining real. So that's kind of saying like you kind of see like the bigger picture in real life scenarios. So when you bring them together, both teach that reality reveals truth. In Plato, the world reveals a higher meaning. In Genesis, creation reflects God, goodness, and presence. All stuff that we covered already. 2, both challenge surface level seeing. So the prisoners mistake the shadows for being like the whole world, and they like mistake the truth because they're scared to open up more. So all they see is the shadows. So in the other book, Genesis, humans need to interpret creation rightly. Like some people don't take like thought in like an everyday lifestyle of how it was really created. 3, both portray truth as something gathered gradually. In the story, Plato, he slowly realized like the good and the truth, which was like the sun and the light and all that fun stuff. And then in Genesis, humans grow into like the world gradually. Like they made Adam and Eve, and even at first they took for granted what they had with the whole apple thing and the that story. And then 4, both show reality paints beyond itself. That kind of explains itself. So why this matters, you can kind of take it into into your own life. So a good question to ask would be like, what shadows am I mistaking for truth? Kind of like in the cave. Or like, where am I staying comfortable instead of getting out there? So you feel like there's anything in your life that would relate to those?
Well, I definitely feel like, because I'm someone with high anxiety, that I hold myself back from doing a lot of things. For example, like, I've always wanted to study abroad. Like, I've always wanted to, like, do classes in, like, Italy or something. But because of my anxiety, I think it holds me back. And I would probably never, ever do it. But, like, it's something I would want to do.
Well, after hearing about the analogy, you think that maybe it opened you up a little more to try something new?
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a lot in the world, and I'm definitely missing out on a lot.
Yeah.
But
I feel like there's a lot of people out there like that, so it's kind of good to see it from like a fake story point of view, that you could really think about it, because you don't really know. Maybe you go there and you could have a horrible time, you could have a great time.
yeah.
I mean, so you don't really know. Other questions you could ask that go with Genesis, kind of challenged me to ask, do I see the world as good? And do I notice the way of everyday reality? So like that kind of question could be like, you think you take for granted anything in the world? Or just like, do you notice like how beautiful the world is every day? Or is it something you have to like sit back more and think about?
No, I think I definitely take the world for granted.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like nose in my phone. Like I don't ever like sit back and I'm like, wow. The only times like I really appreciate the world is like when me and my family go upstate. Like it's like that long car ride and you're just looking out the window.
Yeah.
Like you
Pretty
just like
background.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I also was like that. I feel like one of the times that like I really noticed it was when I went skydiving. That was like whoa, because like that feeling was like so crazy, and like you were just flying down, and you kind of like really like noticed, and like nothing else mattered, and like you like felt like no like emotion. It was just like beautiful. So I suggest everyone go skydiving. It's probably the coolest thing I've ever done in my entire life. It's the coolest thing I'm ever gonna do. And me and Skylar are gonna go skydiving one day. So
No.
yeah, we are.
Skylar will not be participating.
Yes. All right, so I'm glad. That's good how we use those real world examples to kind of show what Plato and whoever wrote Genesis was trying to show. So in conclusion, Plato teaches that reality is layered and meaningful. The truth reveals itself in world we slowly understand. Kind of what we said before. The whole cave, he finds the truth, he does it slowly. That kind of represents real world. Humans do that now. We're doing that now. Genesis teaches that creation is good, ordered and filled with God's presence. It's kind of showing that, you know what I mean, the world is good. God made everything good. God made everything with a purpose. Together, they show that the sacred is encountered not outside the world, but within it. So kind of like, it's not just like God as an outside force, it's God as like, we see God in everything. Like we see God in you and me and the microphone. Like he made everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. Overall, it just connects to the CIT claim very well, both stories. Because you see in Plato how they do it, and you also see in Genesis. So yeah, you got any questions for me? Or?
No.
Well, good. All right, well, that's about it for our podcast. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a better understanding of all the CIT claims, and I hope that you had fun listening. I had fun making this. Say bye.
Bye, guys.